Right now, the USDA is compiling data about what's in the ground across the state, and it's important for farmers to participate in surveys that gather this data. To explain why, we now turn to AJ Sabine with this week's in-studio guest. AJ?
Thanks, Mike. And joining us now is Nathan Crisp. He is with the National Agricultural Statistics Service. Thank you very much for coming, Nate.
Thanks for having us over, AJ. Appreciate it.
No problem. You're absolutely welcome. You came today to talk to us about planted acres. Now that the planting is pretty much over for Louisiana, tell me how many acres are in the ground right now and why farmers should let you know what's going on with that.
Well, right now we are close to being through with our planting season. In March, we did our first preliminary update on planted acres in the state of Louisiana and also in the United States. And we had about 1 million acres of soybeans that we projected was going to be put in the ground in Louisiana, and that was down about 50,000 from last year. And we had corn was at about 510,000, and down 2%. And one of the things that we're trying to do, we're going to be doing here in the next couple of weeks, updating the database for all our crops, including rice, which was up a little bit from last year, about 10,000 acres, up 2%. But what we wanted to get through to the producers in Louisiana is that this is a big part of the production statistics that we do for the state of Louisiana for all our crop, the corn, soybeans, wheat. And this is plays a vital role in the marketing of the crop, how much they get for their crop based on how much is planted in Louisiana, how much is harvested in Louisiana, as well as other producers throughout the United States. So it's critical that we get these numbers right.
And speaking of getting the numbers right, it's very critical that producers get the accurate numbers for their crop insurance because, as you know, Hurricane Gustav really devastated us right at the worst possible time. Tell folks why it's important to get an accurate reporting of how many acres are planted for their crop insurance.
Well, one of the critical elements of the crop insurance is planted yield, and not harvested yield, which most people think is based on harvest, but planted yield is the key to whether they get paid or not. And this is those two surveys where we get most of our planted data from, the March survey and the June survey. And then, of course, we get a final planted acreage update in December. But it's crucial that they report the acres that they plant to us so that when we get ready to do those statistics by parish, that we have data, enough data in those parishes to be able to publish a planted yield per acre.
Now, you also said there's a survey coming out that's critical for producers to fill out and get back to you. Tell us about that.
Well, starting next week, we will have about 50 enumerators out on the ground. They'll be contacting producers throughout the state of Louisiana. They'll be calling, they'll be knocking on doors, they'll be asking people who operate the farms what's being planted in the field. They have maps out, and that's how we make sure that we summarize all the data, all the crops. We actually account for every acre in the field that's on that map. That's in the field that's outlined on the maps. And what they'll do is we'll collect all that data and then we'll summarize that data and we'll get an estimate of planted acres for all crops in the state of Louisiana.
Nate, let folks know where they can find out more information about what NASS does on your website. Tell folks what that is.
Yeah, our website is www.nass.usda.gov. They can find information on our office as well as national statistics as well.
Awesome. He is Nathan Crisp. He's with the National Agricultural Statistics Service.